Hello, this is Sarah and welcome to another video. Today we're doing another chapter in Hermitcraft Retribution, a Clockwork Chronicles inspired story. This is the next continuation of that big, ginormous series that I did. Yeah, you should probably get right to it, yeah? Yeah, I don't need to talk about, like, spoilers and all that. Like, you guys know the gist. Like, if you're new here, if you just found this on the feed, hi. If you don't mind being spoiled about what comes next, it's fine if you're confused. I mean, I've got a whole, like, category with all the Clockwork Chronicles stuff, and, like, all the playlists are all in the description in order, so, like, you will not, like, I try to make it as simple as possible. Like, if you look at the playlists under each video, like, it's either the current series or the one next. Because, like, it's from Clockwork Land all the way to Retribution. It's just like, fluid. Took me a while to do that, but it's fluid. Wow. Yeah. Let's get to it. Chapter 8. Sam sat on a bench next to Duncan and Mittens, watching Stampy and the helpers play Pumpkin Path, a racing game with self-made pathways with the goal of being the first to retrieve a water bucket and pop off the pumpkin above their starting line. He was only half interested in the game, glancing up at the skyline and surrounding area. There wasn't any sign of Campbell's men were around. Watching them. After learning from the hermits that they were being watched, the boy was even more cautious and on edge. What if the guy calling him was here, watching, trying to find something to pick at him about? Maybe the man would accuse him of not helping the hermits look for their friends. Would he? Sam tried to push the questions out of his mind. The man couldn't be watching him. Surely the man had more important things to do than bother him. He returned from his spiral of thoughts to reality when Duncan let out a small whine next to him. Sam looked out, seeing the dog's front paw was still bandaged from the ambush the previous day. What is it, Duncan? Do you see something? The dog whined again, pawing at the boy's knee, his dark eyes glancing back at the cat and its friends, playing the game. Sam swallowed, unsure of what the dog was trying to say. Do you want another pork chop? Are you in pain? Duncan met the boy's eyes again, before placing his injured paw on the boy's knee. Sam smiled, pulling out a cooked pork chop and offering it to the dog, who took it in his mouth. He heard a meow a moment later, and the boy chuckled. Do you want a treat too, Mittens? He gave Mitten a raw fish to munch on, before leaning back on the bench, watching his friends as the sun stretched over the sky. Sam didn't mind keeping an eye out for trouble, as the games usually were fairly dangerous to play, although he had been able to try out Pixel Perfect, another minigame in the Funland. Then again, the other participants didn't have much else to do but wait most of the time, so they could keep watch while the current player was up. Pumpkin Path, on the other hand, was a 4-player game, which meant his friends would be more focused on the tournament than watching for trouble. Stampy had been hesitant to play today due to coming back to the base to learn of the ambush, but Scar had managed to convince him that it would be fine. Sam knew it would be. The hermits could handle it. Besides, they weren't doing it alone. They had their protectors to help them. It wasn't like he was leaving them vulnerable. She'd still be there, the man's voice taunted in his mind. It's your job to protect the innocent. Your friends are in danger. Don't you care? Sam pushed the thought aside, letting out a sigh, just as he felt something vibrate in his pocket. Curious, but also reluctant, Sam pulled out his communicator. He blinked when he saw the coordinates on the device. Not because he didn't recognize them, but because he did. He glanced over at his friends playing as he stood, pressing a button on the device. He looked over at Duncan, seeing the unspoken understanding as he slipped just behind a tree. Still in view in case they was needed. Sam, you aren't busy, are you? The voice came through. No, Stampy and the helpers are playing another minigame, Sam replied. Seems pretty quiet. Duncan will give me an alarm if something's wrong. Okay, Levi said, although he didn't sound convinced. I'm sorry to call you at such an unexpected time. I know I'm supposed to call in emergencies. Is everything all right? Sam frowned. don't know where to start, Levi sighed. I don't want to give you more bad news. Bad news? Sam's heart dropped. What happened, Levi? The man let out a long sigh. Sam looked back toward the minigame, hearing Stampy's laughter before looking away. There was an attack early this morning in town. What? Sam gasped, stumbling against the tree uneasily. He leaned against the oak, trying his best not to let his grip slip from the communicator. I'm sorry, Sam, Levi said softly. Everything's gone. Buildings were razed to the ground, burned and demolished. The school, the shops, the workplaces, everything. Is that okay? A lump formed in Sam's throat, hearing his voice crack. Connor? Your father wasn't home. I'm assuming he was at work early, as usual, Levi said solemnly. I went to check what was left. I don't think Campbell took any survivors. Are you sure it was him? Sam frowned. Positive, Levi stated simply. He still uses that clock symbol that Gerald was fascinated with. No, Sam groaned. Dad can't be gone. He can't. Excuse me. I can't be definitive, Sam. Levi calmly spoke in the device. I don't think Campbell would take the chance of letting her father go alive. No. Sam shook his head, feeling tears stinging his eyes. You sure saving your brother was the right thing to do? The man's voice whispered in his mind. Can't save everyone, Samuel. So sorry, Levi said sincerely. When I saw the smoke come from the trees, I knew something was wrong. I never imagined this. What am I going to tell Liam? Sam asked his friend, the tears finally starting to slip down his cheeks as his vision blurred. After what Campbell did to him? I'm sorry, Levi said gently. I have already told Rose what happened. She's sending out a team to see if she can find anything. I have been told to go into hiding for my safety. I'm sorry, Sam. I was supposed to be there for your father. For Connor. I failed. It's not your fault, Sam whispered. He wiped away tears from his eyes. You did everything you could. It's just couldn't predict what Campbell would do. Stay strong, Sam. If I find out anything, I'll let you know. I promise, Levi replied. Just hate that I have to be the one to tell you. I'd rather it was you, Sam admitted with a sniff. Rather than the other guy. Still bothering you? Levi asked with concern. He told me there were consequences, that I couldn't protect everyone. Sam let out a shaky sigh. Did I do the right thing? You did, Levi said firmly. You saved a life. Your brother's life, no less. It was a trap, Levi. A trap for me, Sam insisted. When he didn't get me, he went for the next best thing. Oh, Sam, Levi whispered into the device. Nothing you or I could have done would have changed anything. You had your eyes set on saving your brother. I knew you would do whatever it took to find him. Campbell did too. But this is not your fault, Sam. Campbell would have attacked the town sooner or later anyway. It's her home. She grew up there too. She had friends there. Family. Of course he'd want to take that from her. It's not your fault. I know, Sam replied, although he wasn't sure he believed it himself. Will this nightmare ever end? We don't give up, Sam. No matter how many times we might get knocked down, Levi stated defiantly. Call me if you need anything, okay? I mean it. If you need me to stay with you in the lovely world, I will. Thanks, Levi. Sam managed a weak smile. It's good to hear from you. Glad I got to you first, Levi said, Sam blinking away tears as he wiped more of them away. You need your friends just as much as they need you. Just promise me you'll be careful. Stay safe. I promise. Sam nodded. I'll call you later. Is that okay? Whenever you need, Levi assured him. I don't care about protocol as much if it means being there for you. I want you to know that you're not doing this alone. If there is anything I could do to help, let me know, okay? Don't be afraid to ask. Definitely, Sam agreed, wishing the man well before the call ended. Sam put a hand on his face, letting out a slow, deep breath before pocketing the device. He managed to pull himself together as he stepped out from behind a tree, seeing Duncan standing deliberately tall and foreboding. He looked almost menacing, and his canine gaze watched the area. Sam, is everything okay? Duncan told me you had a call. Stappy approached the bench. Sam swallowed, shaking his head. It's been a real few days. Dad and Connor are missing, and Levi is thinking the worst. No, the cat's eyes widened in horror. I hope they're okay. Tears filled the boy's eyes as he nodded. Everything's gone. Everything. I don't have a home to go back to anymore. You always have a home here, Stampy reassured him, putting a paw on his shoulder. I'm sure your father would be proud of what you've done to help us. To help as many people as you can. Sam sighed. Is it enough? When one man wants to take everything from you? When he won't rest until you've got nothing left? Cheryl's tried to do that to me, Stampy replied quietly, with a sad smile. But you know what I had to help me? Friends? Sam tilted his head. Exactly. Stampy gave the boy a hug. You were there when I needed to be reminded of what I was. Who I was. Apologies. Let your friends do the same for you. I'm always here if you need it. Thanks, Stamps. Sam returned to embrace, unable to hide the couple more tears that fell down his cheeks. Take a few days off to be with your brother if you need it. Stampy said gently. It's okay. We'll figure this out together. Sam pulled away. It's been a rough week. I know. We all have those. The cat nodded, glancing over at the helpers, who were resetting the game. I should help out. Have a seat and relax. Enjoy the show. Sam smiled, taking a seat back on the bench. I'll try. Stampy returned the smile, skipping off toward the helpers. Sam leaned back on the bench and closed his eyes, trying to do as the cat suggested. No matter how hard he tried, he couldn't help but imagine seeing his home in shambles, a shell of what it used to be. Everything he knew was gone. Innocent people who didn't deserve the consequences of a war Sam wasn't sure they could win. Was it his fault? Could he have done anything to stop it? How could he have known? He'd been so sure that everything would be fine that he hadn't considered it actually happening. He could already hear the man's laughter, tormenting and judging the boy for not doing more to help, for failing to protect his own people, to protect his friends, family. The man didn't need to call him to tell him anything. He was already doing it, and Sam hated it. But what could he have done? Would it have changed anything? That's going to be it for this episode. Thank you guys so much for watching. Hope you guys enjoyed. And yeah, I'll see you guys in chapter 9 when that comes out.